Go. He's on toast.
He says, hello, my darling. Hello, my darling.
She didn't get to go on a trip this morning, so she gets to go now.
That's fine.
She's a good girl.
She is.
Ooh. Oh, you're into the candy already.
Just not sure. I don't think you can go wrong with blue and pink.
Okay.
You're early. Look at that. 3 minutes. Wow.
He's on the swing.
Is it Sophie?
Could be.
Yeah.
And somebody else.
And,
Some guy.
I know, I'm telling you.
It's going to be that time with these children?
Yep, everything. Yep. Go on.
Go on.
Come back to me.
Let's see, okay. You can lie down on the bed.
Would you like a dog cookie? But one of Wanda's.
Huh?
I've never one of Wanda's tasty ones. Wanda's cookies. Don't tell anyone.
Okay. I've lost the foot of the business of the cold. I've lost the puppy in a cage.
Probably safest for all.
If I have her in the cage with that thing open so she has room to pee, she gets loose. I don't know how she's getting loose.
Hey, sis. What do you think of that? She's like, don't mind if I do.
I don't like leaving her home because it's psychological. She looks to be like, I'm not going again. And there's no reason she's not going. She behaves perfectly.
Yeah, it's just the volume. Trying to keep a hold of everyone.
I can have her lie down and stay. It's both of them. Lie down and stay. They won't move.
Yeah.
Besides, once we have Wanda in there, we aren't keeping track of her.
No.
So it's
And in fact, Wanda happens to know all the little nooks and crannies to disappear off to, doesn't she?
and I don't know whether it may have been her, but somebody had an absolutely perfect stool right in front of the toilet. Right
Where?
In my house.
I was like, there's been no peeing and pooing on the job. And I was like, where was it?
No, and it's usually her in front of the toilet.
Yeah, could it be? Because the puppy's quite soft at the moment. And the other two you would know.
Who?
The other two you would know.
The volume, yeah. No, this was in circumference, about a half-inch in circumference.
What?
And it was considerably, it was not big.
Oh, well done, Wanda.
It must have been Wanda, I don't know, but it was right there.
Well, this puppy's really good. She went, before we came into Rainbow, she went to the toilet twice and she had a poo.
I'm pleased.
And then she did really well in there.
She did. She didn't see one.
Nope.
That's amazing.
Empty the tanks.
She almost asked me to go out at midnight last night. I go. I put her out. She was going for 30 seconds or so.
Yes.
And then she came back. She came back.
That's a good girl. She's a good girl. Yeah.
That's a good girl.
She's
what
like,
the hell am I doing in here?
She's like, why are you both saying good girl? What's the problem? Yeah, I'd lie under that one because that's where the heat source is. If you can.
It's okay. Okay, you get on the other one.
Oh, look at that. It's 5:01.
5:01, we're on it.
Sorry, excuse us.
What are those shiny things over there? The 12 things.
Oh, it's, I think it was confetti. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
Let's throw that away before we to get in trouble.
Yes, exactly.
Or go up down the street and put it in somebody else's mailbox.
Yes. Well,
You just go over there and lie down.
hello everybody. It's what day? It's only Tuesday. Feels like a Wednesday, but it's a Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah. I don't know why it feels like a Wednesday, but it does.
No.
Mm.
Wednesday is a one-pill day.
Oh, it's a two-pill day today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. And it is decidedly much colder.
It is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say. Put it this way. I went to do the chores on Meredith this morning, and I had the choice of taking off Chester and Sunshine's blanket, and I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I keep it on, because it was only about 37. But no.
See, I didn't like it until well on freezing.
Well, they're blanketed because Janine doesn't want to clip them, because they're still clip them. She doesn't want their winter coat coming in, because everyone else's winter coat's allowed to come in apart from theirs, because they're still hunting. So that's what we're trying to do.
I don't like clipping horses either.
No, but it's actually the amount of daylight that stimulates the coat production.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's damn cold if they haven't got a coat on.
Well, yeah, and then you've got a real big blanket on.
Yeah.
I always get worried with blankets because they're never quite waterproof. And I look at horses, and they've got the rain rivulets running down their neck, and they go under their blanket, and you just can't stop it. And I'm like, oh, I hate things running down the back of my neck. You know, if I've got a rain hat on, and I always think, oh, poor horses, I'd be squirming.
The hair is designed so that it runs down and drips off, usually. A lot of times their skin is not wet.
Yeah, but if you go, you know what, because as soon as you've got a blanket going round that way,
Yeah.
it sort of like it forces its way under. I just, well,
I'm not sure it gets to the skin because of the design of the hair.
it gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I don't like the whole topic.
No. Oh, it's a real heated debate online. Right about this time every year, to blanket or not to blanket.
Oh, yeah.
It's a real tricky one. So we've had a very busy day today, a very good day today. Although I started it with a disaster on Meredith, I got down there and was storming through my chores quite merrily, very pleased with myself, ahead of the game. I'm like, look at this, I've done this, I've done this. And one of the last things I was to do was to take two of the horses out and had them beautifully haltered. They walked immaculately, you know, so well behaved, got them into the run-in, and Hugo stood on my toe, gave himself a fright that he stood on my toe, went up in the air, spun, and left at speed out the door. And Teddy was like, I'll have whatever Hugo's having. So they both went out. Now this pair are not known for their high jinks. I've never seen them move so fast in my life. They were so I'm storming around after them. I thought, I'm not going to run, because if I run it will just move them on faster. And I'm like, I got this. Very calm. So I kept going, realised I had walked around the front end of the farmhouse and made for the woods, and I was about to disappear off into the other 100 and something acres with no sight of the horses.
And you went all that way.
I did.
Wow.
And I thought, right, time to go back for the car. So I strode on back to the farm, picked up the car, bounced it, Nick's not watching, bounced it round the fields and all over the place. And I thought, these horses have literally disappeared. But I went back to the barn again, and this gentleman with a concrete truck came in, and he went, I was like, oh, all's a good sign when somebody's waving at you enthusiastically on the farm and you don't know them. And I wound my windows down. He said to me, are you missing horses? I'm like, yes, two. He went, oh, I know where they are. And I was like, come on, spit it out, please. He said, they're grazing at the side of the road. I was like, oh, heavens. So I said, thank you so very much. So I ditched the car again and I went down with a feed bucket and a lead rope. And they saw me and I could see them eyeballing me thinking, well, we make a run for it, but we're quite tired. I was like, don't make a run for it because I haven't got it in me. And so I got close to them and I was about to put the feed bucket down and they went, we're just going to stroll across the road. I was like, okay, it's a very quiet road, fortunately, into the immaculate garden across the road. You know, with people who like grass without the footprints in it. So, oh, God, here we go. So they went into the lovely garden, fortunately, just on the hard top. They stood on the hard top and ate the grass from the hard top. So there's no evidence, which is great. So I roped them up and brought them back. At which point I thought, wow, I might have to phone you and tell you to go yourself because I could be here a while because they disappeared into thin air. And they're not even my horses. I was like, oh! So that was my super start. But then it took up from there on because we went to Rainbow and I think we saw about maybe 60 people because there was a lot of changeover. Yeah. And we took Larky. And you and I went in, first of all, with Larky and Willow. And it was super. Willow's she's just lively. But she's a natural, isn't she? Is. And who's got the brand name? Yeah, exactly. And Larky goes round and does his meet and greet. Yeah. And he socialises with everyone. And then they came in and they sat down beside Carlene because we were bringing in Wanda and Miss Delightful and our very special bunny rabbit, Mr. Ziggy. And it was really funny because I went to meet Janine at the door as she was coming in and eyed the pram. So I pushed the door open and I was holding the door because Janine was behind me with the light. And the woman sort of said to me, oh, what are you doing? I said, I'm just waiting for Miss Delightful to come. And she looked at me as if, and she said, are you being sarcastic? I was like, no. And I think she thought I was meaning Janine as in Miss Delightful and not the horse. I said, it's the horse. I said, she's called Delight. I said, but I call her Miss Delightful. And she's like, oh, right. And they were super, both of them. Yeah. And people love that rabbit because it's such a sensory thing. Oh, there were people pulling them over. I couldn't get and that. He gets up to the edge of it. And is he liking that or not liking it? Yes, he does it. You know what he does? He burrows down and people stroke his back. And he just sits there and they run their fingers down his back. I think it's a really sensory experience because he's so soft. So what he does is he comes into that, he puts his head in the corner and he drops down and they just sit and stroke him. It's a weird business. It's a weird business, but he was very good. And people were excited to see him. And
it's huge. That's a big rabbit.
Yeah, it is. And Miss Delightful did exceptionally well, as per usual. And Janine was
she could be kept a little more rigid in going from person to person to person. Mm-hmm. A donkey is better at it.
Yes.
I mean, you set up a donkey eating it, you could have a second frying pan.
Mm-hmm.
And he's already ready for the second frying pan.
Yeah.
But this one turns around and going to go someplace else.
Yeah, she's not quite as food orientated as Magnus.
Yeah.
And we actually unhook her. So she wears her halter, but we take the lead rope off and she visits with people. So Janine is always close to her head and she takes the frying pan, fills it up, and then it moves on, and it moves on. So it's a really very natural experience. Which is probably why she's a bit more choosy about where she's going. She's like, I'll just wander. So that was super. And then I'm embarrassed to say Janine beat us back, even though she left after us with the truck and trailer. We got stuck with a detour, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So we did a little tour of Peabody. And we were coming back today for...
She came back 95.
Oh, sneaky. I don't like the 95.
He doesn't drive 95.
No, I like the scenic route.
Right.
We get there, don't we?
We get there.
By hook or by crook. And then we came back and we had two visitors from a hospice facility that run hospice care throughout Essex County. And they came to visit. Our meeting was at 12 o'clock. They came to visit. They visited with the animals. They looked to see how we were set up for visits for families who had somebody in hospice care, and also discussed how we get our animals and what sorts of animals we can take into facilities. So I think that was a very good meeting.
They were shocked.
Yes, yes. And so I think what that would be is what they normally do is they normally have volunteers come in, so that's on their volunteer program. But I think what they've decided is we're so complex that we'll just stick with our training program and our methodology. So we'll go in as an individual entity as Goldie's Farm, and that's how we'll integrate into that. So that's an exciting partnership to have, because one of the things that we have actually found, and I think it surprised us at the very beginning, was that there was hospice work that was actually needed, and it's a very different ball game, because sometimes people are having like a celebration.
Wait, I didn't understand that.
Hospice work, it's a very different ball game.
Yes.
Because sometimes, a lot of people now, because there's an awareness that they'll be passing at some point in the very near future, they choose to have a celebration with the whole of their family. And we've been to a assisted living facility in Gloucester where we were outside with all the animals, and it was like a big family party. And then we've been to individual people who are about to pass away but had horses, and we take Delight in and they visit with Delight, and we take a dog or two and a donkey. So we're very well set up for lots of variety and individual work or group work.
I did say, I think realistically, we've never been stumped with,
no.
I want the unicorn deal.
Yeah. Nobody's ever asked us for a tarantula, which is good, because I have a deathly fear of spiders. So that's positive. So I think it's a very positive thing to do, and I think it makes very good use of our animals and their very special temperament and personality.
Yeah.
So
they do a good job.
Yeah, they certainly do, and we very greatly appreciate them. So that was our other meeting for today.
Right.
And super duper. Have you got anything else you'd like to tell us?
No, I slept the whole afternoon.
Perfect.
So far.
Perfect.
Real.
Have you got sore ears and a sore throat?
Who?
Do you have sore ears and a sore throat?
No.
Oh, I have.
Oh, well, that's what I'm going to get next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming to you. Well, I have a theory about this. Do you want to hear my theory?
Oh, sure.
Right. So when I used to work in schools with children, being the tremendous vector of infectious diseases and just about anything else that they can get for you. When I was under medical care, because I do class sale with my children, I used to get a lot of blood work done and a lot of testing done when I was pregnant. So they used to say, "You've got the most tremendously strong immune system." And I said, "I can tell you why that is."
Sure.
I said, "Because children cough on me all the time, they touch me all the time." And I said, "And I'm surrounded by bugs." And I said, and I could pretty much guarantee that after the first maybe year of being in a school scenario, I was pretty much resistant. I was like Teflon clad to anything that was going. And then when you come out of it, you drop a lot of that resistance. So I haven't been in the nursing homes and all these places for a while. So I reckon I'm probably just having a refresher course in what's possible to have and what you don't want. So you might not get it unless you're lucky.
I don't know. I get an awful lot of things, and I don't really notice because I just keep going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. When people enjoy
Eat more things.
eat more things, yeah. Well, that always works.
In the last few days, because of Justin,
Mm-hmm.
and I gained 4 pounds just in 3 days.
That's probably because you've still got all that steak in your stomach.
I had steak. I've had the other thing was
Crisp,
whatever it is,
apple crisp.
apple crisp. I ate the whole thing myself.
Say no more.
Nobody else was eating it, so I
Well.
ate. But I have a big strawberry sundae that's in there I haven't even gotten to yet.
Yes,
Need to tackle that tonight.
Oh, Carlene did go on the job.
What happened?
Somebody was asking why you did not go on the job. She did. She was just that. Do you know what it was? You were just that fast out of the house under your own steam and straight into the car. You missed her.
I'm now walking a little bit.
I know she's causing lots of trouble. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is super.
Huh?
That's the best thing you can do for longevity is just keeping active and moving all the time.
Really? Is that true?
Yes, it is.
You finished school. You learned this thing.
No. It is because I've got my heart issues, and the doctor keeps saying to me, he says the one thing you've got going for you is you walk all the time because
Walking is
he said it just keeps pumping that blood around your body. It keeps everything, nothing stagnates. It just keeps going. He said He said what happens to people is when they slow down and they stop.
That happened to me after the hit of the head.
Yeah.
I did not have enough wrong with me to end up in rehab for so long.
Yeah.
But I ended there because I got COVID and then I got the flu. So there's 60 days right there.
Yeah.
Basically in the room. And
Yeah.
they really didn't let me out because I was contagious and there was contagious all around me
Yeah.
and stuff. And so I went bad. And I could not walk.
Yeah. But I think that now that you're walking so much, it has a very positive effect on your whole physiology and your mental health and your speed.
We'll worry about the mental health later.
But the speed's good. So, because we do take the very upright walker with us just because we can fit it on the back of the car, on the tailgate trailer, and we take it. We haven't used it. So, we're out under our own steam.
I did want to get the small scooter up there.
I'm not letting you go on a scooter. There's a main road. You'll be down the hill on the main road.
Oh dear.
Oh, your electric scooter.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant a scooter like that. I was like, oh, heaven help us. Yes. Oh, right. I see. And so people were saying they enjoyed your daily doggy.
I wrote one quick this morning.
Yeah.
Actually, I started it yesterday.
Oh, even better. Willow is doing exceptionally well. She's just super.
Willow.
Yeah, isn't she?
She's doing very well.
Nice dog.
She is. She's a whole lot of really nice dogs. With a few real clever. Yeah.
But she'll grow out of all that.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Yeah. And I think Judy's coming back on Monday.
Yes. I believe she's returning to Massachusetts on Friday.
Yes.
And be here on Monday morning.
Yes. So, yes, the cooler weather is much nicer, I must admit.
Who?
The cooler weather.
Oh. I don't like the cooler weather.
Do you know, I have no idea how Pockets is doing, but Pockets very much, from what I see, probably what everyone else sees online, with her competing in her races and her just having a thoroughly fantastic life up in Colorado. She's having the best time ever.
Yeah.
Because she was such an active donkey.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't keep her out of trouble. She was in everything.
Mine was going.
Yeah, she was a very bright girl. So she's having a wonderful time up there racing.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably the best thing for her. The ducks will probably stay where they are when it gets cold. Yeah. Well, we were talking about this on Sunday, about remedies that you had growing up, like for sore throats and things like that. And I said, I didn't know whether or not this was just because we were in Scotland and we had very easy access to whiskey. But what we used to take for sore throats, it used to be a very massive glug of whiskey and a lemon squeeze, and then top it off with honey, and then you cook it in the microwave. And the theory is that the alcohol burns off the whiskey because you've cooked it, which I'm not sure is true. And then you get up in the morning and you don't have a sore throat. You might have a headache, but you don't have a sore throat. Works wonders. It's probably like your blackberry brandy.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, very soothing. Ooh. Oh, the Henny Penny board is at 52%.
Oh dear. Come on, guys.
Okay, and oh my gosh, November 1st is Saturday, which means we'll have chatting on the Monday.
I hope we do well. So we are very dependent on that money.
Yes, we are.
And it's all well spent.
It very much is. Oh, no. The Deagle House, I put a picture on Facebook to show the setup that the goats have and have had for a good number of months in the Deagle House. They have hay, they have water, they have little platforms, they have beds, and the door is never closed. Probably because they head-butted it and it cannot be closed any longer, but the door is never closed. They have access to that during rainstorms, during just about anything that you would consider, an appropriate time to retire to the Deagle House. It's just the goats do not retire to the Deagle House. They do like to sit out in the rain. They do like to wander around at night time. But what we found with these goats is it's a bit like Ted, the mule. If you restrain them, they use their horns and they sit and headbutt like crazy. But if you let them come and go because they're fed in there, because they get their goat balancer in there, they know where to go. And I think we just let them manage themselves because they obviously get so peed off being in there that they stand there. If they're not headbutting each other, they're headbutting the blinking walls. So they have cover, they have food, they have water, it's like a little adventure park. They can go up and down levels and they come and go as they please. So those goats up there are older and they've got a very significant fluffy coat and then long hairs on top of it. So I think they've got a good degree of insulation. The little goats down here haven't quite grown that, so they're very thin coated.
Different type goat.
So, well, only two of them are a different type of goat. The two females are the same as those ones, believe it or not. So that's why we like to bring them in and have them gated at night time. But those goats, I think they're like blinking mountain goats.
Animals that would be out on their own.
Yeah, but they're like mountain goats. They're like hanging on they're round the pond, they stand on the slope, they stand in the water, they're all over the place. They're quite happy.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, I think it gives them a very natural environment.
I'd like to give them a natural environment someplace else.
Yes, well, we've tried. Did you make any contact with the gentleman?
I haven't gotten to the guy.
Right, okay.
I want to work on the project.
Yes.
Ooh, that whole area that they are in does not have a blade of grass on it now.
Oh, but they've got the pond area. There's no fencing between their area and the pond.
Yeah, and the wreck of the pond area. That was nice grass.
I think it still looks nice. Huh? It's still growing.
It's not covered. The whole that first hill off the is all muck.
Well, Bo should be back to get the tent fixed. So hopefully that will happen soon. Chatting will be on the 3rd, and we've got to remember that the clocks are going back this weekend.
Really?
Yes. There's no visit tomorrow. There is a visit on Thursday and Friday, but I have a funny feeling that this is I'm not sure if this is a hospice visit on Thursday or something that was privately arranged for an individual, but I'll double check with that, Cloud. And we saw, I would have said 60 is a good low estimate. So we saw 60 people today between the people who were, there's a big changeover. People come in and then they disappear off, then another group comes in, and there was a tremendous number of staff. Such a nice staff. Oh my goodness, Diana. I actually meant to send you an email. She sent me a bark deterrent for noodles, and it's this handheld thing, and you point it at the little stinker, and it must make a noise. It is working most definitely on noodles. It is working on juniper, and it seems to be doing its thing. So thank you. It's like an ultrasonic. And but you actually point it at them, and one of the things Noodles is terrible for is he stands at your feet and he goes and jumps up and down if you're petting another dog. So if you just zap him, he goes, oh right, okay, and then he trots off and goes somewhere else. You do have to be on top of it because it doesn't work without you pressing the button, but it certainly seems to be doing the trick.
He doesn't have to have a collar on.
No. But I tried it for recall. Doesn't work that way.
No.
Because it doesn't go too far because they go all the way down the hill. So I have to get them before they start their nonsense. So thank you. It's much appreciated.
I have charged up my electric collar, but I have not used it.
Okay.
I just keep it charged
just in case.
Yeah. I mean, Larky skates on thin ice all the time. But he does, he's got such a perfect personality. I hate to screw it up.
Yes.
So I put up with some of his teenage episodes.
So we're scheduled for some rain. I'm not sure how much there's going to be.
What?
The rain that's coming in.
I tell you, I've heard about this storm coming.
Yeah, I can't see anything. Well, I'm not going to say that actually. There's rain coming.
Once they started giving names to these things, they get personified.
Yes.
Well, Harry's due here on Saturday, and we can't go to, You used to look up at the sky, and if it was raining, you got wet.
Yes. Or, if the sheep were high up the hills, it was going to be good weather. If the sheep were low down the hills, it was going to be inclement weather. There you go.
Yeah, that would be true.
Yeah. Oh, and last night, Janine and I were going to Meriden, so we're sitting in the car. We went to go up to Rowley to go to CVS to get your medication. We're sitting outside Rowley. Janine goes in to stand in the big long queues to pick up the medication, and I thought, I better check my phone. I checked my phone and there was a text. Everybody's out of the paddock with the sheep. And I was like, oh, heaven help us. Now the paddock with the 10 sheep in it has one jack donkey, it has Enzo Ferrari, our mini mule, and it had the 2 horses, Chester and Sunshine. Both of whom move exceptionally fast. And Enzo is known for a bit of a one-man rodeo when he gets going, and the jack donkey is not the friendliest of boys. And the sheep, they scatter. So it was dark, and we were like, uh-oh. So Janine was still in the queue because it does take a long time to get pick up prescriptions and that CVS. So I thought I better go in and just let her know that we're needed quickly. So fortunately when I went in, she got to the head of the queue and actually had her hand on your medication. I said, "You got to go, Janine. You got to go." And she said, "What is it?" And I said, "The sheep barn side in Meredith. The gate's been taken out." And she's like, "Okay, leaving." And so we left. And the woman behind the pharmacy, she said, "Can I just ask you, what's the stakes?" I said, "Oh, the Jack donkey, the mini mule, Enzo Ferrari." I said, 10 sheep and 2 horses. And she's like, "Oh yeah, go." So we went. We were so fortunate in that the lovely Darcy had managed to get all 10 sheep back into the paddock, the horses and Enzo Ferrari into the barn, and the only thing that was causing a bit of a stramash was the Jack donkey, who I opened the gate and everyone else shooed him in, so we got them all back. That is the easiest recovery of animals I've ever had.
I would think that you would leave food around somewhere, so they knew where they were going to go when they ran out of the way. You know what I mean?
They get all their food in the paddock.
Huh?
They get all their food in the paddock. Which do you mean, the sheep or the horses?
I'd put it in the door of the barn, so they have some place to go. Of course, the rats would help themselves too.
Well, I think the 2 horses head up to the barn because they get fed in the barn every night because they're stalled overnight. And Enzo, you've got a sort of like 10% chance that he's going to go off and do his rodeo into the darkness, and a 90% chance that he's going to hippity scot up to the barn to see what's for eating. So that's good with him. And if you can get both of the barn doors shut, the ones at the head of the barn and the side, you're good. Otherwise, he goes in, realizes there's nothing to be had, and he's straight back out. So,
Like I said, the noise.
oh yeah, yes. So but this lovely lady who managed to do this is not a fan of. In fact, she's scared of horses. So she did an absolutely fantastic job, and we are eternally grateful because you know what it's like chasing them around in the pitch dark. And as soon as I've done that in my life, and you know what the terrible thing is? You see, as soon as you've either got a head torch on or you're carrying a torch, the sheep are like, "Ah!" and they just run for the hills. They're like, "I'm being chased." So anyway,
that makes the noise of grain.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they have grain buckets.
Well, they don't have grain buckets. You're all set when you don't have anything. Because sometimes they'll come over and they'll sniff your hand and you can grab the halter if you're lucky.
So,
I've had a lot of experience chasing
animals. Oh, Arthur's fine. His feet are all better. It was Arthur we were talking about. And he just hangs out with all his donkey buddies, doesn't he?
Yeah, he was standing down here at the gate when I went by.
Yeah, that's him.
How we doing, Sizzle?
She's fine. Yes, we're all good for the fluffies. And we took some of the Halloween fluffies out, most of the job on Friday night, and also today, because the pram that Ziggy's in is lined with his Halloween fluffies, and he's got lights on. Janine wore her witch's hat, and obviously our Miss Delightful is out too.
What are you doing, Sizzle?
I actually haven't heard how the white goats are, but normally if there's a problem, we are told pretty sharpish.
We ready to go?
Yes, I hope Jamaica is okay.
You better figure out who's sitting on that swing set with your daughter.
Oh gosh, hold on. It's coming. I've lost it again. Yeah. I stopped thinking about it. Oh, I'm glad you saw this photo. She'll be pleased. Yep, sibbled up and having a sniff around. here we are. Uh-oh, hello, it's Cozy.
What time are you going to Meredith?
I'm going just after meal chat.
Okay.
I'm going to take your horses in now, though.
Well, are the stalls done?
I will do them.
No, I can go with you.
Silly.
Do you want to go? What time do you want to go?
Well, do you want to go in 5 minutes?
Sure.
I just popped him off.
You need, I'll just, what do you,
Steak dinner. What else have you got? She's eaten the whole.
Yeah, I already get it. Whatever.
What have you got to eat? She's right, and she's eaten the whole apple crisp. Say no more.
okay, so she said.
I gained 4 pounds.
Okay.
There we are. We'll be back for.
idea.
Janine, we do have a job on Thursday, don't we?
Yeah, I got to call it confirm, but yes, no, I already confirmed that one. Day by day, they're not on the schedule because they were a late entry.
Oh, there we are. That's why they're not.
Yeah, they booked through me because we only have in November, I think November 5th open. So they called because they wanted something next week, but we don't have anything.
Right. Okay.
So I said, well, I can fit you in on Thursday. I don't know why we had all this. We had Wednesday and Thursday wide open, and we were having turkey fights. I can see some white. They're fighting. This is ridiculous.
That's your Sally. So today we were showing the people round from the hospice facilities, you know, we oversee in Essex, right? We're saying, you know, and it's such a lovely calm place, and you know, very gentle, and you know, quite a dreamy sort of like lovely place. So two female turkeys are one side of the fence. Sally's the other side of the gate, and they're going through the fence. And I was like, oh my God. The male turkey, the tom turkey, he's lying down way at the back going, look at these women go, they're awful. Honestly.
Terrible.
So we sort of like gently moved Sally on, and she's like, hang on a minute, hold my handbag. She fluffed right up, and she strutted back to the gate, and she went, "Bick, bick, 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 bick," and of course her little beaks get right through. So, and then the two turkeys on the other side, one of them, Sally's was, just so you know, one of the other turkeys, the two turkeys on the other side, she picks, you know, that sort of wattle, she picks that up and is swinging her head back and forward, and the other turkey's head's going like this, and I'm like, oh, this is brutal. And I'm like, anyway, we have some nice ducks down here. So, yeah, I don't know what's got into the turkeys, but they were having super fun today, so Janine will be off to rescue them. And I will tell you, it's Sally who is the naughty one that's causing Mary hell. That's why
I wanted to try with the turkeys is eating off a soup spoon.
Do you like your fingers?
But trying to get away from the finger. Well, the problem with the fingers and the turkeys is a lot of people have a ring on.
Yeah, I know. And yeah,
And when they peck, it hurts.
yes.
So I'm trying to avoid that. I have a lot of soup spoons, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
sit down.
And you just shine them up.
Right.
Get them nice and shiny.
What do turkeys like? Worms?
And
No.
oh well, we could try them on dried worms.
Yes.
I'm not going digging for worms.
Yeah, no.
We could try them. Yeah.
We're looking for something special to put on the spoon.
Do you know what? So the problem I have.
These animals are fighting. I don't know what you're going to do about this. Sally's terrible.
Who's like the animal?
She says the turkeys are fighting. She says, I don't know what you're going to do about it. I'm going to have a stern word. The problem with the turkeys is they really peck.
They do.
You know, because it's like
With enthusiasm.
total enthusiasm, and they don't do it out of badness. That's why when we go on the jobs, we've always got somebody at the head, because the head is suitably movable because it's on the long neck. You go, and there she goes. And there she goes again.
Well, that's why I think if we get oriented into something like spoons, that would be
Yeah.
very helpful.
Do you think if it was something deeper than a spoon, you know, so that they took the head and it hit a bottom that was quite solid?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't tried the spoon
But
yet.
I just wondered if a spoon, if it would like scatter off the side. a ladle. Do you get any spare ladles?
Let me go with the spoons first.
Right, okay, you can try
You can play with the ladles if you'd like. I don't
want any spare ones. You got metal ladles.
The reason I have so many is we used to have Sunday stew here, and people would bring parts of stew and things like that, and I'd end up with all this kitchen hardware.
Well, this is good. Now you get Justin.
Right.
So that's fantastic. And I think we were saying today that Justin's going to come on the team more.
Yes, that sounds great.
Yeah. Well, it sounds great for Carlene. It's lovely for us, but it sounds great, super great for Carlene because he does like cooking.
I like to be able to get out.
Yes.
I get some idea about, I'd like to do, like, let me give you an example. When Janine was about to go out the door, I said, grab a handful of the monkey fists and drop them off at Betsy's, because I don't know whether she's out of them or not. And the next thing I know, the whole basket is gone. Basket and monkey fists are gone. Now, she ended up at the bar next to Betsy with everybody. They had a party down there. I don't know what happened to my whole basket full.
So the whole basket, so it didn't make it to Betsy's because we were too late. It was shut.
It was shut.
And then
it ended up in Janine's car.
Now, and the car is on Meredith.
So I'd like my monkey fist back again, because I have a feeling they're just going to wander into the woods.
No, yeah, okay.
There was a bunch of them there.
Right.
I have another 50 ready to go, but still.
Okay. There we are. So.
Okay.
Yes.
I go now?
Yeah, you can. And have your steak dinner again.
I think I'd like to plan that again. I could have used that today.
I might have liked that, but hey, you can have it. That's fine.
Where did it come from?
I think it came from your house originally. Did it? Goodbye. We will be back tomorrow because it's Wednesday tomorrow.
That's right.
Although it felt like Wednesday all day. There we go. On you go. Bye bye.
Ready, set, go.
One, baby. Oh, I better turn off the
2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm off and running.
Oh, come on, Sizzle, we go. Sizzle, you with me? Great.
Thank you.